Washington. President Donald Trump, who has repeatedly used his clemency authority as a political tool rather than an act of mercy, was expected to issue a final wave of pardons and commutations on his last night in office, delivering relief for a mix of beneficiaries that included former strategist Stephen Bannon. An administration official familiar with the matter said. Bannon, who is awaiting trial in Manhattan on federal fraud charges tied to a border wall fundraising effort, is included on Trump's list, highlighting the president's willingness to flout the traditional pardon process and use his authority to rescue allies from illegal jeopardy. Trump and Bannon have had an up and down relationship since the flamboyant advisor left the White House in 2017. At one point, Trump banished Bannon from his inner circle, claiming that he was a source of a critical book about the president, but Bannon still worked as a prominent backer of Trump's 2020 re-election campaign. For weeks, political allies, defense attorneys and others have staged an intense lobbying campaign, urging Trump to act on behalf of their clients. Trump's mass clemency action loomed as President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris hosted the first national vigil for the more than 400,000 Americans who have died during the coronavirus pandemic. Last-minute pardons, including disputed ones, are something of a tradition for outgoing presidents. As he left office in 2001, President Bill Clinton pardoned fugitive financier Mark Rich in a move some analysts tied to financial contributions. In late 1992, his term soon to expire, President George H.W. Bush pardoned aides involved in the Iran-Contra scandal. Trump has granted clemency to more than 90 people during his term in office, including allies and former aides involved in the investigation of Russian election interference during the 2016 election. That group includes Paul Manafort, a Trump campaign manager in 2016 who was convicted of defrauding banks; George Papadopoulos, a former campaign aide who admitted lying to the FBI; and Michael Flynn, a retired Army general who pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russian officials. Trump also commuted the sentence of longtime political advisor Roger Stone just days before he was set to report to prison after he was convicted of lying to Congress and obstructing the Russia investigation, led by special counsel Robert Mueller. Among other pardons, Charles Kushner, the father of presidential son-in-law and senior advisor Jared Kushner, the elder Kushner, has been convicted of preparing false tax returns and witness retaliation. Pardons have also been granted to two former Republican members of Congress who were early supporters of Trump's presidential bid: Duncan Hunter, California, who had pleaded guilty to misusing campaign funds, and Chris Collins, NY, who had pleaded guilty to charges of conspiring to commit securities fraud. In many cases, Trump did not work with the Pardons Office at the Department of Justice, but took action on his own based on requests by lobbyists to him and his top aides. Legal analysts said Trump turned the presidential pardon power into a personal project designed to reward friends and political supporters.